Welcome back. Just a quick update today. I wanted to show this Coelogyne glandulosa, which I've got in flower at the moment. I've had this plant for, I guess, about 5 years now, and it's still developing into quite a nice little specimen plant. These Coelogynes are really good subjects if you want to grow specimen plants, because they do clump up pretty quickly. So it's got 4 racemes on it. It is fragrant. It's well, typical sort of orchid fragrance, I guess, a little bit overpowering, but it's not too bad. And yeah, it's pretty easy culture, I find. Do keep it in the greenhouse for most of the year. I would describe it as intermediate to warm growing. I tried putting it into the garden one summer, but that didn't like it too much. It was, I think the night's a bit too cool, so it does prefer a little bit warmer night temperatures, but in winter a bit cooler is okay. So my greenhouse at the moment is 13 degrees at night and 20 degrees during the day. Yeah, so I think these Coelogynes like a lot of water, and this one is no exception. So if you want to get nice big bulbs on it, you need to really give it a lot of water, especially in the warmer months. And I think I could do a bit better if I look at this latest bulb here. I also noticed when I repotted it that it did take a bit of a setback, so I don't think they like being repotted that much. Well, maybe it's a matter of doing it at the right time of the year, but yeah, really beautiful. And Coelogynes, I think, are really nice plants to grow, pretty easy. Main thing is to give them a lot of water in the summer months. Obviously, let them dry out a bit in between each watering. And I'd like to show another Coelogyne which I've got just by way of comparison. Right, so this one is Coelogyne Diana or Pulverula, goes by both names, take your pick. So you can see this is a pretty big plant, and this one has never flowered. I think it's just coming into maturity now, I'm hoping. This latest pseudobulb here is really pretty big. I'd say about 20 centimeters long. And there's a lovely palm-like foliage. And these plants get pretty sizable, I'd say, given that it's just coming into maturity now. And I'm hoping that this will make a nice specimen plant. But I think when I bought it about 4 years ago, it was listed as 1 year to flowering size, but so far no flowers. But I'm hopeful that if I get some nice big canes on it this year, next year I might get some flowers. Out into the greenhouse now, so we've got another 2 little miniature Coelogynes here. This one, Chloroptera, has green, translucent green flowers with a kind of orangey tan lip, very nice. And this one has finally divided, so it's got 2 growths going now. I've had this one for quite some years as well. I'm not sure how long exactly, probably 6 or 7 years. This one, even smaller, Ecarinata, with tiny little red flowers, and that's growing quite well. But yeah, so this just shows some of the diversity. Oh, and then we've got another one here as well, a medium-sized one, I guess we could say. This is Lawrenceana. This one's got 2 buds on it. I know a few other people are growing this one as well. Yeah, I'd say it's also intermediate to warm growing. I think these are all intermediate to warm growing pretty much, so they do pretty well in household conditions, take a bit of heat, but they can be grown with a bit cooler night temperatures during the winter. So you see here one of the buds here, another one here. Hopefully we'll get both of them coming into flower in a couple of weeks or months. Not quite sure how long it takes, but I think last time it did take a while for it to come into bloom. And the other thing which I've got going on out here in the greenhouse is got some Paphiopedilums in bud here. Of course, the exciting ones are these 2 on the left here. This is Venustum alba, or Mejasianum is the correct name, I think. not a true alba. It's green and yellow, the colours. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that one in bloom. And then this one, which is Vietnamense, another species which with beautiful foliage as well, is regarded, I think, as a little bit difficult, but I haven't really had any problems with it so far. So at least looks like it's going to flower. And behind that I've got here, this is a no ID paph, which I've had for many years. Got given to me once, given to my daughter as well. I used to take the kids to the orchid shows when they were little, and I used to always get given plants, so then it's up to me to keep them alive. So this one has stayed alive for over 10 years, I guess, but this is the first time it's flowered for quite some years, so it'd be nice to see it again. This one is the more recent acquisition, Pedro's Moon, from Coelogyne Orchidea in Germany. It's a big golden yellow hybrid of Armeniacum and I think Primulinum, something like that. And this one here is not clear if it's actually going to flower or not. This is Thompson. It's got some little cakeys on it, so that's a good sign. It's a very small plant to be flowering. I'd be surprised, but we'll wait and see. And so this is another very beautiful species which is flowering at the moment. It's encyclia vitellina. I think it's from Mexico. Grows at I think fairly high elevations. This one is, I've had it for quite some years, probably 10 years, maybe longer. And it's just a very reliable bloomer for me and very easygoing. Haven't been able to kill it over all these years, so I think that's a good sign. Yeah, so this one likes good light and a lot of moisture, especially in the growing season. So about a year or two ago, I put it into sphagnum type of compost, and it has responded very well to that. I'm not growing as wet as I used to, and some of the plants started to, like you can see here, that the growth started getting smaller. Not sure how well you can see that, so it wasn't doing as well. And then I put it into the more moisture retentive compost, and it's responded very well to that. And yeah, I'm growing it pretty bright as well. But I know in the past I grew it less bright and it also did well. So I think it's just a very easygoing species and really cool. I really love the colours on this one. The little red anthocaps, trying to get it in focus, but yeah, the little red anthocaps are very cute. So this is a really nice species which I would recommend, and yeah, pretty trouble-free. I think you'd also describe it as probably intermediate to warm, or maybe even intermediate. Could be grown a little bit cooler. Perhaps, but I don't grow it outside in summer. I just keep it in the greenhouse, so it does get very hot in the summer, and seems to be able to cope with it pretty well. So I've still got some paphs in bloom up here. It's a bit of a reach to get the camera up there. So it's the Paphiopedilum there on the left, Don Wimber. And yeah, I've shown these. I think I've shown these all before, but it's just nice to see them still going. This one, Prim Druid, I think it's called, the yellow one. Drurii hybrids with Primulinum, I believe. And then we've got the species here, Grey Trixianum. And next to that, Venostum, still going, looking really cool. Just such a cool plant, one of my favourites, I guess. And then, yeah, so we've got the encyclia again, and this is a little Dendrobium hybrid, Phalaenopsis hybrid, which is flowering again from the old cane, and trying to see if I can get it to do something and grow some more flower spikes. It remains to be seen. A little Phalaenopsis down here. That was the primary hybrid of, is it Vitellina by Amboinensis, alba forms of both, I think. Really cool little flower on that one, amazing detail.